Hey everybody, it's your man with generally no plan, Adam Benjamin Coleman here at the HPP, the Human Performance Project. Happy Hump Day, it's Wednesday, Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May, for those of you celebrating. So there's a few topics I wanted to talk about today. The first thing, while it's on my mind, was etiquette, not just in the gym, at large. At first, it was just going to be the gym. I think I need to expand upon that because I notice as I drive, walk through a grocery store, really do anything, the overwhelming theme that becomes apparent is people don't give a shit about anyone else or anything else other than what they are doing at that specific moment in time. And the fact that there are other people around them that are influenced by the way that they handle themselves doesn't occur to them. And if it does, they do a better job than I could ever do at just saying and not even caring about it. Because there's just zero fucks given, it appears. Don't be that person, you know? Like, people have a right to suck. You do have that right as a person. If you just want to be a complete asshole, you can. I wouldn't recommend it because I tried it. And you don't get very good results unless the results you're looking for are to be miserable, alone, and sick. That's really all it'll get you. Just taking the time to even display or show that you are thinking of someone else oftentimes is very much appreciated and will either kind of cut you some slack if you just did something stupid or make someone a little more patient if they were already kind of pissed off at whatever situation you find yourself in, right? But we're here for performance, so let's keep it to the gym. Now, I work out at a couple different gyms, but the primary one is Planet Fitness. Not because I have any allegiance there. I disagree with almost everything that goes on in that gym, but it's 24 hours a day. It's $10 a month, and it has almost everything I need. You know, it's a great place to train people that are especially beginning clients. But point is, they have signs and stuff all over the walls about what they won't allow, right? So no lunks, which is a large person carrying a gallon jug that slams his weights and yells when he lifts, apparently. There's no shaming. You're not supposed to judge people. It's a judgment-free zone. You should probably drop off the face of the earth because all humans judge. It's just the way it is. And then there's signs up that say, don't have cell phone conversations on the gym floor. Don't play your own music audibly. In other words, have headphones in. Those really cool inventions, that are now wireless for $20, $30 at Walmart. The other day I watched someone come through the gym, a couple. They split ways. Both of them took a machine from someone who was already using it without asking at all, right? Now, we'll get back to that in a second. Then they proceed, one is having a cell phone conversation, loudly. The other is playing his own music, not through headphones, just through his phone, just letting it blare, right? Right in front of the sign that said not to do those two things. This couple is doing that, right? Again, oblivious or which one? I have a hard time believing that someone who is that unaware can survive this long. I watched it again today driving, we're at a blinking red light, right? Which means it's the stop sign, which means first to arrive is the first to leave. In the event that there's a tie, the car on the right has the right of way. That is the law, right? It's what you're supposed to know to operate a motor vehicle. This woman decides she's gonna make eye contact with everyone who's already there at the stop sign. So she sees, right? There's a pedestrian crossing the street. So she waits past her turn, okay, until I start to pull out to go and until the pedestrian is almost right in front of her to take off. Like the worst possible time she could have departed from the stoplight is what she chose to do. How do you survive? How are you alive? How have you not walked off a cliff? How has someone not just taken you for everything you own and left you for dead somewhere? How can you be that unaware of everything going on around you? Driving is not just some inane act. You're piloting a missile that could potentially kill someone, full of gasoline. Take it seriously. You know, I don't know about you, but I've been in a lot of car accidents. None of them feel good. Even the low speed ones where there's not a lot of damage done, they still suck. Be careful. Be thoughtful. Everything you do should have a purpose. Be deliberate. Be thoughtful, right? Don't just go through the motions. Be present. Be where your feet are. Do what you're doing at that moment. Then move on. Don't be doing what you're doing but thinking about what you're going to do next Thursday. Just be present. If you're speaking with someone, look at them. Don't just sit there on your phone and text someone else while a human being stands in front of you and tries to have a fucking conversation. But it's where we're at. Anyway, when you're in the gym, ask people if they're using stuff before you just take it. Even if you're pretty sure no one's using it. What's the worst that could happen? People are gonna be like, wow, that sure is a nice, polite man or woman. What a dick. You know, no, probably not. People are gonna be like, oh, I appreciate you asking, you know? But me personally, what do? Are you using that, Adam? No, man, I'm not, but I appreciate you asking. You know? Didn't have to. But you took the time, I appreciate it. It's not that hard, you know? It'll make the person you help feel better, and it'll make you feel better. And then we'll all get along, you know? Stupid and trite as that may sound, changing the world is really only one act of kindness away. It really is. So, be that change. Be that act of kindness. Don't just sit and wait for someone else to do it. Don't be embarrassed because you think someone's gonna look down on you. If someone looks down on you for doing something kind, fuck that person. Seriously. Not gonna excuse my language because I don't apologize for that. Like, seriously. If someone gets down on you for being a good human, they have issues. You don't need to worry about that. Let them deal with them. So, anyway, back to the gym, back on planet Earth. As I've gone through this channel, these episodes, few though they are, they've been fairly sporadic in terms of my focus. And I am glad to say that I think I finally have that narrowed down to one specific goal, which, after being told how skinny I looked from losing a lot of weight to, bike riding, COVID, and just inattention, to be completely honest, I found out that I don't like being called skinny, and that bodybuilding and maintaining a certain physical image is important to me. Not just for vanity, but it's the accomplishment of building it. It's the work that goes into it, you know? I don't need a pat on the ass for my hard work, but I do need people to recognize that what I do is hard work, and it's not just something that you can go take a supplement and achieve, or go take a steroid and achieve. It's a lifestyle. It's something that is purpose driven. Everything I do, you know, when I'm at my best, everything I do has a reason and a purpose. If you want to know, just ask me and I'll tell you. On that note, I do encourage interaction. Please email me, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not anything more than what you at home listening to this are. So don't take my word for it. Fact check me. Go fact check me with 2 or 3 other people and your own opinion, and see where everything meshes or doesn't mesh, right? Take what works, discard the rest. Never hurts to listen to somebody. You never know where you're gonna get nuggets of information, and they're usually, my experience has been, the last place that you think you would find worthwhile information. So, eyes and ears open, mouth shut. So, Operation Slow Growing. Going to devote myself to growth. Physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. That is what my focus is from here on out. Whether or not I compete again, I would love to. Lord willing, flesh willing, probably a year at least. solid training to have a viable shot. So we'll do that together, and I'll show you guys how it goes for me. And if anyone else is doing a similar experience, share it with me. You can reach me adrock11@gmail.com. That's ADROK11@gmail.com. I'm going to create a new email address soon, which I will post in my next video. I had another one for this channel specifically, but I stopped using it and forgot all the information for it, and I'd like to start fresh anyway. So for right now, probably social media, either Facebook or Instagram, which I'm on both under just my full name, Adam Coleman. But yeah, you know, shoot me a line, give me some comments, concerns, you share your experience, your thoughts, always welcomed as long as they're constructive and there's a legitimate question or desire to obtain some knowledge in there somewhere. So don't be afraid to ask whatever it is. I try to be approachable, and I try to make the gym approachable for people who are new, because it's scary, you know, it's new, it's different. It's not everybody's second nature and happy place like it is mine. Me, from the first time I went in there, clanging steel and chalk and dust flying around in the air with loud ass music blaring, it was like my meditation spot. As weird as that sounds, it just made sense to me. So yeah, it's kind of where I stay even today. And you know, I most recently had been riding my bike more, which is my other passion, cycling, bicycle, motocross, mountain biking, touring, you name it. I've kind of gotten into all of it, but 200 plus miles a week and not lifting and eating as much, and drop a lot of muscle mass. So I'm gonna try to build some of that back. Still doing some research with the peptides that I told you about. Peptides or SARMs. Both of them are neither one actually. They're kind of a gray area, but MK677, which is a secretagogue, helps your body to maximize its own growth hormone pulses. And then the other one is GW0742, which is still fairly new. Well, it's not really that new, but it's newer in terms of how long it's been studied. But the effects of it in terms of the endurance improvement that it gives you and the lipid metabolism, the burning of fat for a fuel source, is just unbelievable, man. I think it might work better than clenbuterol, and it does it without the shakes and sweats, you know? So I know that there's some fat burners that are a combination of like cardenine, clenbuterol, and yohimbine. And that, man, I look at that and I started losing body fat just reading the description, but I don't think that I could take it because of the anxiety and potential cardiac ischemia that can happen from excessive clenbuterol use. So, you know, I'm at a point in my life where I do want to see definite results, and I am willing to research different chemicals and ways to go about that in a safe manner. Again, not a medical professional. I'm not advocating or telling you that you should try what I do. If you try anything in terms of supplements or especially hormones, you need to go to a doctor, you need to get your blood work done, and you need to know where you are. I'm not just saying that so that you don't sue me and hurt yourself. I'm saying that so that you don't waste your time. Because if you don't know where your starting point is, and you don't really know what you're trying to get to, what the fuck is it really that you're doing? You know, how much testosterone do you need to take if you don't know what your starting test levels and what your target test levels are going to be, right? You may not be that far away from your target. You may not need that much test, or you may be taking too little and you are way far away from your target and you need to take more, but you won't know that unless you get your blood work done. You'll have an idea just from some of the things that happen and don't happen when you're on testosterone and when your levels are off. But you won't know for sure unless you get blood work done. If you have something going wrong with your cholesterol or cardiac system as a whole, you may not know unless you go to a doctor and get the proper screening done first. So is it 100% necessary? Not all the time. Does it make things more effective, safer, and more expedient? Absolutely. So just spend the extra $100 or whatever it is, seriously. Um, you can't train if you're dead. If you're on kidney dialysis and have to worry about all these problems you cause yourself from abusing, performance enhancing drugs, then you kind of cut off your nose to spite your face, right? So I'm at a point in my life where I'm really trying not to do the latter of those two things. I'm really trying to take a holistic, long-term healthy approach to what I'm doing and not just try to be the biggest, strongest guy, but be able to live a good quality of life relatively pain-free and at my highest level of performance for whatever I choose to do, even if what I choose to do is just hang out with my kid and enjoy a picnic on a Sunday, right? So right now, having said all that, even though I'm trying to make the smartest decisions possible, it's still back to basics in terms of the structure of training. I'm doing a push-pull squat, then rest. So twice through the progression and then rest. And it's actually going to be a 4-day split because I'm throwing arms in there too. So push, pull, squat, arms, push, pull, squat, arms. So it'll be more frequent training of certain muscle groups that are lagging on me is the goal. But basically, there is one advantage to having the bipolar interests in as far as hobbies, because like cycling, being heavy doesn't help you at all. Even if it's fat-free weight, it's still it's weight that you have to move and pedal and push uphill, and it's going to be harder. Easy, just physics, right? Power to weight ratio. But obviously your cardiovascular stamina and performance, and even if you're doing intervals and single speed riding, even some of your anaerobic performance might improve. But they're two very different worlds is what I'm trying to say. So for the longest time I thought it was kind of a curse, but now I see that it's forced me to start from scratch, which is a good thing, because what I had done in my younger years was pile a bunch of muscle mass by taking shortcuts and not being patient on top of a crooked foundation, right? Like I had minor scoliosis, I had muscular imbalances, I had postural abnormalities that needed to be taken care of before I put a bunch of weight and muscle tissue on top of it, and I didn't do that. So I reached a plateau where I wasn't growing anymore because my muscle circulation, my range of motion and mobility, those things were lacking. They were not working the way that they were supposed to. There were certain muscles that weren't firing as forcefully or frequently as they should have because of the way that I sat, stood, lifted. So being aware of that now and what some of those imbalances are, I can fix those and then put the muscle mass back on top and see if things don't go a little bit better. And I am reasonably certain that they will. They kind of already are, even though I'm a long ways away, but my physique is gonna look completely different. It already does. I remember when I started all this, I was very mesomorphic. I had wider hips, narrower shoulders, a collarbone, a lot of abdominal fat accumulation, and it just, I was definitely fighting an uphill battle, and so in the meantime, there have been certain structural improvements that I've been able to make that are going to give me a completely different package. So right now, the split is a 4x10, 4 sets of 10 reps on whatever it is that I'm doing, which again, one day of presses, so chest, shoulders, triceps, one day of pulls, back, biceps, lats, spinal erectors, rhomboids, some traps. And then squat day obviously is gonna be primarily legs. Primarily, I'm gonna be doing compound movements on all these because density and mass, especially on the shoulder and trap area, the arm and leg area, are the 3 spots that I really want to improve the density, mass, and detail of my physique. And when it all comes together, I think it's gonna look pretty special, but one day at a time. one day at a time. But right now, all of the necessary ingredients are in place. I'm blessed. I have everything I need and nothing I don't. Every day is still a struggle. There's a lot of things that I have to work on and a lot of things that I'll have to work on for the rest of my life. But that's okay today. I'm glad for where I am. I'm glad for the struggles I've had. I'm glad for the struggles I'll have yet to come, because on the other side of the struggle is growth. There is a reward. If you're willing to put in the work, you are bound to get rewarded at some point. There's always going to be people that you're covetous of and you wish, man, why can't things just click for me like it does Johnny, Sue? I'll tell you this, there are people that have God-given talent, but hard work will beat God-given talent when God-given talent fails to put in the hard work. So don't ever let anyone tell you you can't do it. Don't ever let anyone tell you what you're capable of. You decide that, right? And when you decide, do it. Don't do it half-heartedly. Do it. Stick with it, right? Have some conviction. Stand by what you're passionate about, by what you say. Do what you say what you do. Be a person of your word. It's one of the very few things that we have in this life. Anyway, I didn't even see a soapbox around here, but I managed to get on top of it somehow, right? So anyway, I hope you guys got something out of that. Today was back day, and it was a pretty good workout. So I'm gonna keep rolling along, and I will keep videos coming. Tomorrow is gonna be the squat day, the dreaded squat day. Actually, I look forward to it. I just wish that I got better results. Well, I can't even say that. Just gonna keep working, one day at a time. But anyway, I will talk to you guys soon. Again, please feel free to shoot me any comments, questions, concerns. If you'd like to even be a part of the channel and have an interview, that would be more than welcomed. Yeah, I encourage interaction, and I encourage all of you guys out there watching this, stay healthy, stay positive, stay swell and swole, my friends. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and I will talk to you soon. Deuces.